Hello everybody, I am Brendan McGreevy and this is Intro to Cooling Systems. Okay, so why do I care? My first car was a Buick Encore and it had numerous coolant problems. This one happened while I was in a Zaxby's drive-thru, and as soon as I placed my order, my dash lit up saying engine too hot, turned off immediately. So I do that, I open the hood, and there is nothing in this tank right here. This video was taken after I'd refilled it, but it's just spraying all over the engine bay. And yeah, so over here on the right, this was the culprit. This piece was cracked and it was leading to this just spraying all over the place. So this was actually my first ever fix on a car, and I'm not happy that it happened, but I'm happy that it gave me the experience. And I wouldn't say I'm like too superstitious, but I am superstitious enough to have never gone back to a Zaxby's. Okay, so why are cooling systems necessary? Combustion temperatures can range from 1200 to 1700 degrees Fahrenheit. Your cooling system works to make sure your engine temps keep in a steady range. If they exceed this range, it can cause overconsumption of oil or detonation rather than combustion within the cylinder. Okay, so how do cooling systems actually work? It starts down here at the water pump. Cold coolant is pumped into the engine where it absorbs heat from the combustion. Once it absorbs enough heat, it flows up to the thermostat, which opens and allows the coolant to flow to the radiator. This is where the coolant cools down. By the time it flows all the way down to the bottom of the radiator, it is cold enough to be pumped back into the engine, and then the cycle repeats. Cooling systems use coolant for all of their functions. It is a mix of 50% water and 50% antifreeze. Coolant removes heat from the engine, prevents the engine from freezing, and also prevents corrosion and rusting within the engine. A 50-50 mix has an incredibly low freezing temperature of negative 34 degrees Fahrenheit, and its boiling temperature is just higher than that of water at 218 degrees Fahrenheit. Coolant is known for having a sweet smell, so if you walk past your car and you smell something sweet, it could be an indication of a coolant leak. Thermostats are what regulate the coolant temperature within the engine. As the coolant circulates around the engine, it picks up more and more heat. Once that heat gets high enough, this valve opens and it allows coolant to flow to the radiator. And as the temperatures go back down, it closes and the process repeats all over again. This is a radiator. It is used to cool the coolant within your engine. It starts at the top where hot coolant is pumped in and it flows down to the bottom. As it flows down, cold air runs through the radiator and absorbs the heat. As you can see from this thermal diagram, the top is much hotter than it is at the bottom. Once the coolant has cooled down, it is ready to be sent back into the engine via a water pump. Water pumps are what control the flow of coolant within your engine. It can be driven by a camshaft, a crankshaft belt, or an electric motor. These are powerful enough to circulate the coolant over 20 times per minute within your engine. Finally, we have heater cores. Heater cores are used as a way to reduce waste energy. It uses the same principle as a radiator. As coolant flows through it, cold air is pumped in and leaves as hot air, except this is used for climate control. This hot air enters the cabin and passengers can use it if they would like. This has been an introduction to cooling systems. I am Brendan McGreevy, and thank you for watching.